Hello, my dear friends. It's so nice to see you here today. My name is Emma, and I'm very happy you are joining me. Today, we are going to learn some very useful English words. These words are called modal verbs. Don't worry, that sounds big, but it's easy. Modal verbs are small helper words like can, could, should, may, and must. We use them to talk about what we can do, what we should do, what is possible, and what is important. In this lesson, I will explain each word slowly, give you easy examples, and we will practice together. By the end, you will be able to use these words in your own sentences, just like native speakers. So, are you ready to learn and have fun? Let's start. Before we start with each word, let's understand what a modal verb is. A modal verb is a small helper word. We use it with another verb to give more meaning. For example, I can swim. You should eat breakfast. The modal verb is like a little helper. It comes before the main verb, the action word. For example, in the sentence, I can swim, the main verb is swim, and the modal verb is can. Modal verbs have a few important rules. They do not change with he, she, or it. We say he can swim, not he cans swim. After a modal verb, we always use the base form of the main verb. For example, she should eat more fruit, not she should eats more fruit. We use modal verbs to talk about ability, what we can or cannot do, possibility, what is possible or not possible, permission, what is allowed, advice, what is a good idea, rules, what you must do, and polite requests, asking in a nice way. In this lesson, we will learn 5 very common modal verbs: can, could, should, may, and must. We will take them one by one, and I'll give you easy examples you can remember. Let's start with the first one. Our first modal verb is can. We use can in 3 main ways. First, to talk about ability, what someone knows how to do. Example, I can swim. This means I know how to swim. Second, to talk about possibility, when something is possible. Example, we can go to the park this afternoon. This means it is possible to go to the park. And third, to give permission, to say someone is allowed to do something. Example, you can borrow my book. This means I allow you to take my book. Here's a short conversation to show you how we can use this word in real situations. Can you swim?
Yes, I can. I swim every weekend.
Wow, that's great. Can you teach me?
Of course I can. We can go to the pool this Saturday.
That sounds fun. Can I bring my little brother?
Yes, you can. He can use the small pool.
Can we also play water games?
Yes, We can play water volleyball. It's my favorite.
Can we have snacks after swimming?
Yes, we can. There's a cafe next to the pool.
Perfect. I can't wait.
Now it's your turn. Say one thing you can do. For example, I can cook rice, or I can speak a little English. Great job! Next, let's learn the modal verb could. Our next modal verb is could. We use could in a few ways. First, for past ability, something you were able to do before. We use could to talk about a skill or ability you had in the past, even if you don't have it now. Example: when I was a child, I could run very fast. This means when I was younger, I was able to run fast, but maybe I can't run as fast now. Other examples: I could swim when I was 5 years old. She could speak Spanish when she lived in Mexico. Second, for possibility, when something might happen. We use could when we talk about something that is possible in the future. Example: we could go to the beach this weekend. This means going to the beach is possible. We are thinking about it, but it's not sure yet. Other examples: it could rain later, so take an umbrella. We could watch a movie tonight. And third, for polite requests, asking in a nice way. We use could to ask someone for help or to do something, but in a softer, more polite way. Example: could you please help me with my homework? This means I am asking you for help and I'm being polite. Other examples are, could you pass me the salt, please? Or, could you tell me where the bus stop is? Let's listen to a short conversation so you can hear how this word is used in everyday English.
When I was younger, I could play the guitar really well.
Wow, I didn't know that. I could only play a few simple songs.
I haven't played in years, but I think I could still remember some tunes.
It's Saturday. We could go to the park and play together.
Yes, we could even invite some friends to join us.
Great idea. Could you bring your guitar?
Sure, I could bring it. Could you bring some snacks?
Of course. I could do that.
Now it's your turn. Try to make your own polite question using could. For example, could you open the window, please? Or, could you tell me the time? Excellent work! Let's move on to the next modal verb, should. Now let's talk about should. We use should in two main ways. First, to give advice, to say what is a good idea. When we give advice, we are telling someone what we think is best for them. Example: you should eat more fruit. This means it is a good idea for you to eat fruit because it's healthy. Other examples: You should sleep early so you can feel fresh tomorrow. He should study harder if he wants to pass the exam. Should is softer than must. It's not a rule, it's a suggestion that we believe is helpful. Second, to make suggestions. To share an idea about what we can do. When we make a suggestion, we are telling someone what we think would be nice or fun to do. Example: we should go for a walk after dinner. This means, I think going for a walk is a good idea. Other examples: we should watch a movie tonight. You should try the new restaurant in town. Now, let's listen to a short conversation example so you can understand should better.
I have a headache.
You should drink some water and rest.
That's a good idea.
Also, you should close your laptop for a while.
Yes, you're right. I should take a short break.
So remember, should is for giving advice and making suggestions. Great. Next, let's move to the modal verb must. We use must in two main ways. First, to show strong necessity when something is very important. Example: you must wear a seatbelt in the car. This means it is very important to wear a seatbelt. Second, to talk about rules or laws. Example: students must not use phones in the exam. This means the rule is that students cannot use phones. Let's look at a few more examples. You must brush your teeth every day. Visitors must show their ID. We must finish this project today. Now, let's listen to this short conversation so you can hear how this word is used in everyday English. You must try this cake. It's so delicious.
Really? Okay, I'll have a piece.
Also, you must come to the party on Saturday.
I'll be there. Is there a dress code?
Yes, you must wear something red. So remember, must is for strong necessity and rules. Now it's your turn. Make one sentence with must. For example, I must finish my homework, or we must be on time. Excellent work! Now let's move to the last two modal verbs, may and might. Let's talk about our last modal verbs, may and might. We use may and might to talk about possibility. This means something is possible, but we are not sure. May means something is possible and may be more likely. Might means something is possible, but usually less likely. Listen to these examples. With may, I may go to the park later. It is possible I will go. She may be at home now. Maybe she is at home. With might, I might watch a movie tonight. It is possible, but I am not sure. He might be busy now. Maybe he is busy. In daily English, many people use may and might in the same way. Difference between may and might. Both words mean possibility. But there is a small difference. May is a little stronger, more likely. Might is a little weaker, less likely. Example: it may rain this afternoon. Stronger possibility. It might rain this afternoon. Weaker possibility. Now let's talk about permission. We use may to ask for permission or to give permission. Listen to some examples. Asking for permission. May I sit here? May we open the window? Giving permission. Yes, you may sit here. Students may use the library. Remember, may is more polite than can. For example, can I borrow your book? This is normal, everyday English. May I borrow your book? This is more polite. Now, what about might? We do not use might for permission. For example, might I sit here? This is very old-fashioned. Use may instead. That's it. So remember, use may for permission. Do not use might for permission. Now, let's listen to a short conversation example so you can understand them better.
I may go shopping later. Do you want to come?
Maybe. I might be busy with homework.
Okay. If you finish early, you may call me.
Sure. And if I can't, I might come tomorrow instead.
Well done! You now know how to use can, could, should, must, may, and might. Let's quickly review what we learned today. Can for ability and permission. Could for past ability, possibility, and polite requests. Should for advice and suggestions. Must for necessity, rules, and strong importance. May for possibility and formal permission. Might for possibility, a little less certain than may. You did an amazing job learning these modal verbs. Remember, they are small words, but they are very powerful in English. The more you practice using them, the more natural your English will sound. And if you want more practice, watch the videos above. They will help you with speaking and listening. Keep learning, keep smiling, and keep going. I'm proud of you. See you in the next lesson. Bye for now.